Every single video I get asked, LJ, how do I get my first few viewers? And I've answered that by making videos about how to get your first 5 to even 25 average viewers. But that's just my opinion about how I think you should be doing it and how I did it. So today I asked 6 full-time streamers how they grew their first few viewers, but more importantly, how they then took those first few viewers and grew them into a sustainable community that would grow further on Twitch. Let's go. Hey, I'm Eljay with StreamScheme.com. I'm also a variety streamer over at twitch.tv/LJM_. There is a link in the description to that. As I said, today I have 6 full-time Twitch streamers who are going to be talking about how they grew their first few viewers and then how they took that and turned it into an audience and a community that watched their streams. Now, you've probably heard some of the advice in today's video before, but there is something incredibly different about today's video. They're not just going to say, hey, go play a small category or go do just chatting segments. No, they're actually going to give you the specifics about how they did it, exactly what category they played, exactly how they made it watchable, and hopefully it'll inspire you guys to get out there and do it yourself. When you watch them one by one, there are some fantastic lessons to learn. But when you look at them as a whole, there is one really powerful thing that you can take away from all of it. So I'm going to cover that at the end of the video, but because I know I've been saving the best tips to the end of the video a lot lately, I'm also going to make it worth your while by throwing in a couple of owned.tv $50 vouchers. So if you want to win those vouchers and get your Twitch stream looking spick and span, then just stay tuned. I'll cover how to enter that draw very soon. Now, there are links in the description to every single person in today's video, so if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to go check them out while they're live. First up, we have Reaps, who is an amazing Australian streamer with some production quality that I think even the largest streamers on the platform wish they had. And he's going to be talking about how he managed to grow entirely on Twitch, which is something you guys ask me about all the time. You don't want to do external platforms, you just want to go on Twitch. So Reaps is going to cover that. Take it away.
Hi guys, my name is Reaps, and it is an absolute pleasure to come back and talk to you about some advice on how to get those first few viewers when you've done nothing at all inside the Twitch atmosphere. The first time that I ever came on Twitch, I had no background on Twitter, on YouTube, or anything. I was starting fresh. This was my first foray into social media. And what I noticed very quickly was that the big time streamers were playing variety games. So back in the day, Sodapoppin was playing this game called 60 Seconds. And I was like, I've got that game. I should stream that game. I'm going to stream it right now. So I was streaming this game that nobody really played along with Sodapoppin. And as soon as Sodapoppin got offline, people were like, you know what? I want to see more of this game. So they came over to me. And there I was. Not on the first, Fortnite or League of Legends or anything like that. I was playing a niche game, and that's where people find you. Because if you play those big time games, you're not going to be found. People don't go scrolling down to people with 0 viewers just to be a good soul unless they want that YouTube revenue for saying, I donated X amount to small time streamer. But the chances of that happening are very, very, very slim. If you do variety straight off the bat, chances are people will come and follow you during one game. But if you don't play it the next stream, they may be like, oh, I thought you wanted to play this game and I was really into that. You can grow, obviously, but just give it some time of sticking to one game for about a month or so, and then slowly initiate another game into it. And I must say, my biggest piece of advice, if you want your 5 to 10 followers to come back, set a schedule and stick to it, no matter what. Sometimes people don't get those notifications. Sometimes people aren't following you on a Discord or on a Twitter. So I just say, stick to it, go with the schedule. When people come in, say thank you so much, let them know when you stream, and get on with the game. That was how I got my first 5 to 10 viewers, and from there, it's gone up astronomically with a schedule. I hope that sorted some of you out and leads you down a good path. You're gonna do amazing. I'll see you next time, guys.
To summarize Reaps, if you didn't quite understand, you need to take a step back and before you start streaming, do some planning and research. What categories can you appear in? Who's watching what? What niche are you gonna fill? It doesn't matter if the potential audience is only 20 to 30 when you're starting out, because you're starting at 0. And 20 and 30 people is a huge amount of viewers when you're just starting. Once you're in that niche category, you pick a schedule, you lock it in, and you work to bond with your audience. This keeps those people coming back, and it allows you to boost your numbers and eventually transition to variety streaming. Next up, we've got Only Trails, who's going to be talking about how he used not only a niche game, but also a unique way of streaming that game to create a huge following and a massive audience. Take it away, Trails.
Yo, what up guys? It's Trails or Only Trails, and how did I get from 5 to like 10 or 50 viewers? Well, I focused on very small communities at first. I started focusing on a game that has a small community, but a lot of people watch. For me, that was old school RuneScape. But that was not enough. I looked into a niche within that game. I found another way to play the game so people are more interested in watching my streams than other people's streams because I was doing something different. I started making YouTube videos around this concept and I shared it on small Reddit communities that were about playing the game old school RuneScape differently. I know it gets a little bit tricky, but if you can find an original way to play a game that already exists within a small community, then that is your game plan. At least it was for me. I bundled up these videos into highlight videos on YouTube, and if people wanted to see the whole grinds that were behind those videos, they could check out my stream. Now, the problem with this is that it gets really difficult to venture into variety games because a lot of people are there to see that specific thing of you. But I found a little fix for that. Now, after a while, you'll start building relationships with your viewers and you'll gain like a core audience that will follow you no matter what. Take this core audience and just stream another game once a week or something like that. Even if you go from 100 viewers to like 20, that core audience will follow you and you'll have a viewer base for that other game. Now, when you're playing this other game, try and host someone that is also playing that game that you don't know and start interacting with their community so you become friends with people from other communities. This way, this streamer might return the favor, give you a host or a raid, and initially raids and hosts don't do that much, but if one person sticks around, they might bring their friends along and stuff like that. So as a conclusion, try and build your niche within a small community and then try and build that core audience, bring them to a variety game, and then start making friends within that other game's community. That's it.
I absolutely love this advice by Trails because he went into streaming with a plan. Not only was he going to play a niche game, but he was also going to play it in a way that allowed him to stand out and be unique. I often talk about Smallland and how he created a niche inside a niche in a similar way, by playing games blindfolded or with his feet. This is exactly what Trails has done as well. He's taken his niche game and he's played it in a way that adds stakes. It adds a unique, engaging factor. When you take all those things, you put them into a highlight video and you drop them on YouTube, but you don't just sit there and hope that's going to work. You then take those highlight videos and you share them out to communities and subreddits who are interested in those games and playing those games in a unique way. This is so much more discoverable than if he just played RuneScape and just did his best and maybe chucked out a crappy Let's Play and just hoped. There's a strategy here, there's a way to be discovered, and there's a way to make it engaging. And clearly it's worked. Next up, we have Metal Fear, who you guys gave so much positive feedback to. You said that his advice about networking was the best tip of our last video. This time around, he's going to talk about how some careful research into a category and the right time to stream allowed him to go from 0 viewers to 75 with a little help of some engaging stories being told over and over again. Take it away, Metal.
Hey everyone, what I did to get my first few viewers was I found a game that had a large following, but did not have a lot of people actively viewing it at the time that I streamed. That game was Pokemon Sword and Shield. At the moment, it has 1.4 million followers, but only between 1,000 to 2,500 people that were viewing it when I streamed. And that meant that when I was live, I wasn't too far down the list for people to scroll through. Now, once I got a couple of viewers trickling in, what I had to do was I had to engage them. Now, to do that, I told stories. Really fun, interactive, and engaging stories that kept people's attention. These could be stories about real life, my job as a full-time teacher, or about the game that I'm playing. Alright, boys and girls, come on round, Grandpa's gonna tell you a story. One of the best things about being a small streamer is then you can repeat those stories. If you're telling a story for only a couple of viewers between 0 and 3 people, and then you tell that same story again the next day or a couple of days later, those same people might not be in the stream again. And if they are, that means they're enjoying your content and they probably don't mind hearing that same story again and again. Even now, after growing my stream, I still get people that ask me to tell the same stories again and again. And I'm sure there's people that have heard a story 10 plus times, but still enjoyed it. And each time you tell it, it's a little bit different. You might be able to embellish a little small detail. You might want to add a little bit more that you didn't add last time. And people always love the stories. I hope you found those helpful, guys. Have a great time streaming.
Hopefully you're starting to see a trend here with these first 3 clips. No one went into this and just hoped for the best. Everyone went in with a careful game plan, a way to stand out and a way to be discovered. Now we have 3 more streamers left who are going to talk about external platform growth as well as how to grow as a community. But of course, we've still got my lesson that I took away from these 6 streamers, as well as the owned voucher giveaway, so stay tuned for those. I do just want to throw it out there though, if this video helps you out, consider checking out our other content. We've got videos about all sorts of things streaming related, whether it's an affiliate guide, whether it's an emote guide, it doesn't matter. Check it out. And if those help you, maybe consider subscribing. And finally, I've managed to finish up our glitch pack. That's right, you guys have been asking for this for ages. It'll be released later in this week in our Discord. Next up, we have the legend himself, Mr. Cobblewobbles, and he's going to be talking about how he took a very small YouTube audience and converted them into a Twitch following in order to grow straight off the bat. Take it away, Cobb.
If I remember correctly, my first 5 viewers actually came from YouTube, because when I started Twitch, I had done YouTube for a few years. I basically had like a core audience, like around 50 people-ish that watched almost every video that I put out. I announced that I was quitting YouTube because I was really sick of it and I wanted to still make content, so I moved over to Twitch with live streaming. Right out of the gate, I would have like an average of 5 viewers. So that's a tip that I can give you if you start your Twitch channel, and you've probably heard this like a million times before, but also start doing something on different platforms to bring those people over to your Twitch, because that actually works. A different thing that I then did to like enhance those viewers from like 5 to 10, 15, 20 is committing to a niche. And you've probably heard this before as well. And the reason why you've heard it before as well is because, well, it works. I started playing exclusively Nintendo games. If you commit to a niche, you can really speak to a specific audience. After committing to that niche, you can branch out to different games that are kind of similar to the things that you're playing, but also innovate in a new way. And then you can slowly branch out even more until you eventually might become like a variety streamer or something. That's basically how I did it. Alfred here completely endorses it. Alfred here is the mastermind behind all this. I'm just the puppet. He's the real content creator.
You might be thinking straight off the bat, well, he had an audience somewhere else, so that's not helpful advice. But if that is your first thought, then I think you're missing the point. If your goal is to be a streamer, but you can't find your niche to stand out on Twitch with 0 viewers, the same way Reaps did, the same way Metal did, or the same way Trails did, then don't stream yet. Go and create content on another platform. Discoverable content and build a small audience. I know a lot of you guys think that in order for a YouTube or a TikTok audience to help boost your stream, it needs to have 100 to 500 viewers every video, when in reality, all it needs is 20 to 50, because those will convert to 5, maybe 10 viewers over on Twitch, and that's enough to get you at the top of a category. Speaking of having a prior following, I think a lot of people don't understand that prior following, in order to boost your stream, doesn't have to be an influencer following. Tea with Mandy is a fantastic streamer, and she's going to be talking today about how she used her prior following from Twitter to launch her Twitch stream and go from there.
Hey, my name is Mandy. I am a partnered streamer over on Twitch, and I've been streaming for about 3 years or so. So I'm here to answer the question, how did I get my first 5 to 10 viewers? So for me, they pretty much all came from the same place, and that was Twitter. I used Twitter quite frequently before I started to stream, and I had quite a few relationships on there, especially the people who were gamers as well. Yeah, when I did my first stream, I announced it on Twitter, and then I had about 10 people who showed up to my very first stream, that's amazing. It was incredible. It was very exciting. It was comfy for me. It was super nice. It was awesome. I feel like it kind of helped me skip that very first like difficult step of getting those very first few viewers. So yeah, you can use any kind of social media. You can even use IRL. Just get to know people, make friends, and just be authentic, be genuine. Don't use people because they can see that. You can feel if you're being used just so somebody has a viewer. But yeah, just genuinely try to form relationships, build friendships, and eventually, if you do that, you'll meet people who will want to either consume your content, they're excited about what you're doing, or they like you and they just want to support you, or maybe both, which would be awesome. So anyway, thanks for listening.
There is no huge marketing plan here, and it also covers a question you guys ask me all the time, which is why I really value this advice. Constantly, you guys say, I don't have any friends who can come watch my stream. By spending some of your time to become well-known in communities that you actively do enjoy anyway, such as Reddit, TikTok, Twitter, maybe it's a Discord, Instagram, you name it. If you spend your time there and create genuine connections and then turn around and say to people, hey, I'm actually going to try become a Twitch streamer. It'd really help me out if you could just check me out or maybe lurk, or even just give me some feedback. Obviously, as long as you're not breaking any self-promotion rules, I'm sure those people would love to check you out if you built a real genuine connection. I've saved the final and one of the most important tips for last today, and it's from Crescentine. We're going to hear from her, and then I'm going to talk about the lesson I learned by watching all 6 of these clips, and I'm going to be giving away that own 3D voucher, so stay tuned.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Chris, from twitch.tv/Crescentine. Early on, you'll probably hit a plateau of 3 to 5 viewers, potentially 5 to 10 viewers, and then you'll realize that no matter how long you stream, your stream never grows, and these new viewers just seem to change and always find other streamers or content to watch. The way to grow past these plateaus is really to focus on building a community. When new viewers come into your stream, welcome them warmly and then invite them to a Discord server. On your Discord server, you can even host game nights or movie nights to interact with them offline. And the goal here is really to create a community by having these people not only be friends with you, the streamer, but to also be friends with each other. And that's really how a community starts to build. I see a big issue in some streams where the viewers are only there for the streamer, which means that if the streamer stops interacting and starts focusing on what they're doing, chat instantly dies, and this is something that you want to avoid. So it's really best to create a community and start introducing people to each other, focusing on offline interaction as well as online interaction.
You guys know I think this advice is crucial. Every single growth video I do, I talk about how it doesn't matter how many followers you have, it doesn't matter how many viewers you have, it's about a community. It's about having people who engage with each other, engage with you, are active in your chat and your Discord. That is how you become a sustainable Twitch streamer. There really isn't much else to say about Krez's advice, so let's give away that voucher and let's cover the final tip that I learned from watching this video. If you listen to every single streamer today, and when they talk about growing their average viewers, they thought about 2 things. The first, how they were going to be discovered. And the second is how they would make their content engaging or stand out so that people would come back. No streamer in this video said to you needed to buy a $6,000 Throat Guzzler 5000 microphone. No one said you need to have the fanciest overlay. In fact, no one even talked about panels, branding, no one talked about your offline screen. So why is it that so many small streamers, even the ones in the Stream Scheme Discord, spend so much time on their panels, their offline screen, changing their branding, spending hours getting a logo for their stream, then they go live and there's no discovery there. They're just still playing a game like everyone else. There's no unique way to stand out. Maybe they haven't even put time into their title, and there's certainly no time put into the thumbnail. So really, there's no reason for someone to click you. You guys know that I put so much emphasis on my title. You guys know I put so much emphasis when I started on making my thumbnail look good. I green screened myself into a milk aisle so people thought, what the heck? And had to click me. You need to find a way to make your content stand out. That should be your number 1 step. Not an offline screen. It doesn't matter. No one's coming to you when you're offline. Work on making your content unique and engaging. So, in order to allow you to keep focusing on your content, I'm going to give away these owned vouchers. It's not a sponsored video. I just have some vouchers for you. All you have to do is go down to the comments and type hashtag owned3D, your Twitch username so I can get in contact, and which person today's advice you liked the best. I'll see you guys next week, and remember, content comes first.